States of America with Israel Delgado.
So if I went to Brooklyn to a Russian community, I don't speak Russian. There's always in New York, there's always this. So now
what are the advantages of studying in the United States of America?
But if you different pronunciation, the word, not just one way, but you are going to learn the word. And when you are here now, ice cream, now is. Do you like born in Poland? No more than 30 minutes. Everything is not normal, you know. Yeah. I haven't been to New York. I have never seen that building. I know that I was in New York.
Hi everyone, this is first English video in Inspirational Talks Turkey YouTube channel. I am really happy because thousands of people watch our previous videos and we are so proud of these views. We will talk about language education in United States of America with Israel Delgado, who is English lecturer at Fairleigh Dickinson University. Thank you so much, Israel, to accept our invitation.
Thank you so much. I'll be happy to help you.
If you're ready, we can start.
Yes, I am.
What are the advantages of language education in the United States of America?
Well, the advantages of is not only learning the language, but also learning the culture. And if you learn the culture of the United States, because the United States has many different cultures. If you're in the East or Northeast, that's one culture. If you go South, that's one culture. If you go West, that's one culture. So you're not only going to learn English, you're also going to learn the English and its culture. You're also going to learn English and the different accent, because everybody in the United States also has different accents. So learning English in the United States is a good advantage because you're going to learn not dialects, but the way that people speak. For example, in New Jersey, we call this soda. But if you go to Minnesota, they call it pop.
Oh my God.
Okay. So when I went to Minnesota and somebody said to me, "Hey, do you want a pop?" I didn't know what that was. I thought it was a lollipop, you know, the lollipop that you eat, candy. But no, they meant a soda.
There are a lot of different cultures. Yeah, this is very important opportunities, I think. I skipped the first question. And which language would you recommend our audience to learn after English?
Well, I would say not because I speak Spanish, but I would recommend Spanish, because after English, Spanish is the second most spoken language. Everybody has to learn. Everybody has to learn English because that is the common language all over the world. But Spanish is the second language that is spoken mostly. There are more Spanish-speaking countries than there are English-speaking countries. I think how many English speaking countries there are. There's not as many as Central America and South America. But you still, that could be another language to learn. The second language to, in my opinion, the third language to learn is one of the Asian languages, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, because those are, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, those are the, when it comes to the business world, when it comes to money.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, those are the languages that people need to learn. When it comes to European languages, well, obviously French will be another language to learn.
Chinese and Asian language is very important for trade or for business world.
Especially Japanese. China depends on the relationship between your country and China. Japan has good relationships with everybody.
We know that a lot of students want to go New York City to learn English. Is New York a good choice location to learn English? What's your opinion about learning English in New York?
Well, my opinion is that it is a good place to learn English. Once again, New York City, with its 5 boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island, they all have their own different communities. But maybe in Brooklyn, you have a community of just Russian people. You have a community of Arab people. But the common language is English.
English. Yeah.
So if I went to Brooklyn to a Russian community, I don't speak Russian. I have to speak English, and they have to speak English. So there's always, in New York, there's always that opportunity to learn to speak the language because you don't have a choice. When you take the train and you don't know where to go, you have to speak in English to ask for
And yeah.
directions. If you take a taxi, you have to tell the taxi driver in English where you are going. If you
Yes.
buy anything in the store, you have to speak English. So New York is a good place to learn English, to develop the English language. Also, because there are many English schools in New York City, they will provide all the students, again, not just with English, but opportunities to learn English in the class, but also to learn to use that English outside of the class. So if I say to you, for example, Arabi, I give you a whole lesson about the Statue of Liberty. Now I'm going to bring you to the Statue of Liberty so you can see it. Now we go back, or rather, right there at the Statue of Liberty, we talk about the Statue of Liberty. Now you're going to tell me in English, oh, the Statue of Liberty is big, it's green, oh, it has this. So now I told you in English in the classroom. Now I'm going to bring you to the Statue of Liberty so that you can tell me what you see.
Yes. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And you're a lecturer at Fairleigh Dickinson University in New Jersey, and you have many international students. What are the advantages of studying in the United States of America?
Well, if you are an international student, okay, there are many advantages again, because you are going to come to a country where you're going to learn the language if you want, because many people say, "Oh, English is very difficult." English is not difficult at all. What is difficult about English is the pronunciation. Okay, for
Yeah,
example, for example, you know what is a present, right? A
yeah,
present is a gift, and there are three presents. A present is a gift. Uh, a present is I'm here. So when you go to school and I say, present, that's two. And
yeah.
then you have present, and that is to give you something, okay?
Pronunciation is very
Or to
important.
introduce. So you got present, present, present. The same word, okay? Three different
Three
meanings
different
and
meanings.
one different pronunciation. I have, okay, Arabi, I have a present for you. Where is Arabi? I'm present. Oh, let me present. So English is not difficult. So those are the things that when you are here in the United States, that's an advantage because you are going to learn the word not just one way, but you are going to learn the word in three ways. For example, present, present, present. Okay. There's a lot of ways of learning the language: listening, reading, writing, speaking, okay,
Yeah,
music.
combination.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. And when you are here now, a lot of people make the mistake. They have a cell phone, okay? And then when you
Mhm.
look at the cell phone, they have the cell phone in their language. No.
Yeah,
If you are in Turkey, okay, have the cell phone in Turkish. But when you come to the United States, have the cell phone in English. So that way your mind, okay, will
yeah.
remember that. But these are the little things. If you don't change the little things, the English is never going to change. I tell the students
Yeah.
all the time. I see, sometimes I help the students, oh, let me see your cell phone. Your cell phone is in Spanish. I can't help you. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly. The other thing, sometimes in Spanish, sometimes I have to help the students with something for the university. I speak Spanish, but I don't know everything in Spanish. So I tell them, I said, I can't help you if it's in Spanish. I could read Spanish, but I cannot understand, some other things. I can
Yeah.
read the English and then I can explain it to you in Spanish. I could do that. I cannot read the Spanish and then explain it to you in English because I'm not sure if what is in Spanish is I'm understanding it. In the English, I will. But the advantage as an international student or any kind of student is that you're going to be surrounded by everything in English.
Yeah,
Okay.
true. This is very
Everything.
important. Yes.
Exactly. If you're driving, everything is in English.
You
Okay.
can learn easily
You
with
can
this
learn
condition.
easily you can learn easily by listening, listening, and listening.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it is 80% listening and 20% speaking.
Yeah. Listening is key to learn English.
Exactly. And if you listen, sometimes if you listen very carefully, the response is in the question. For example, do you like ice cream? Yes, I like ice cream. So it's
Yeah.
it's the same thing. No, I don't like ice cream. Okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes people, do you like ice cream? No, ice cream, no, is, do you like ice cream? Yes, I like ice cream. Do you go to the movies on Saturdays? Yes, I go to the movies on Saturdays. It's right there. All you need to do is listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
True. Yeah. You taught many years in Manhattan. What are the advantages and disadvantages of work in Manhattan?
In my opinion, there are no disadvantages about Manhattan because Manhattan has everything. Okay.
Yes.
So there are many advantages because when you're in Manhattan, you have so many opportunities to learn, to see, to experience, to ask, to talk, okay, to visit. I used to have one student, he was from France in the school in New York, and he was here. He was actually, he was born in Poland, but his family moved to France. So he only speaks French, he doesn't speak Polish. So every day after the class, he had tickets. He got some tickets online where he can just go to the different New York places for free, you know? So that was an advantage. After the class, he would say to me, oh, I have a ticket. I'm going to the Statue of Liberty. Oh, how much? Nothing. The next day, oh, I have a ticket. Where are you going? To the museum. How much? Nothing. He was taking the opportunity to learn English in the class and then go outside and practicing that English.
Yeah. And what is the advantages work in Manhattan? For
Working.
yeah, working.
Well, for me, when I worked in Manhattan, the advantage for me was meeting many good people. When
Yeah.
I was working in the school, I was the assistant director, and the people were very good to me. When I left that school, the people were really, I don't want to say very, very, very sad, but they were not happy that I was leaving because they felt that I was always on their side.
Mhm.
And whenever they needed something, they can count on me. So for me, that was a good advantage that and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Disadvantages?
that's an advantage for me because I was able, disadvantages.
Yeah, what is the disadvantage? Yeah.
For me personally, I didn't find one, For me personally,
Oh,
I didn't find a disadvantage because for me, my commute from my house to Manhattan was about 20 minutes on the train, one
yeah.
train. So I
Train is
was,
very good in New York.
yeah, when I worked in Manhattan, it would take me 10 minutes to go from my house to the train station. Then
Yeah.
it would take 10 minutes on the train to go from my station to 33rd Street. And then from 33rd Street, I walked maybe maybe 3 minutes to the school, because the school, when the school used to be in front of Madison Square Garden. So in total, it would take me no more than 30 minutes to get to my job. And then when I was coming home, I leave home by 9 o'clock and I was home by 9:30. So it was very fast.
Yes,
You know?
yes. Public transportation is very important for cities,
Yeah.
absolutely.
There are some people that have to take more than one train, but thank God I only had to take one train and I was there in 20-25 minutes tops.
Yeah. What would you recommend a tourist do in New York?
What would I recommend? Oh,
Yeah.
if you go to New York first, like everybody that comes to New York, you want to see everything. Downtown, uptown, Times Square, Statue of Liberty, World Trade Center, Empire State Building. You want to see everything in New York City. Now, I don't
Yeah.
know how long, it depends on how long you're going to stay. If you're going to
Yeah.
stay for 1 week, well, all you're going to see is just New York, okay? But if
Yeah.
you're going to stay for 1 month, then see New York, but then go upstate New York, okay?
Yeah.
Go up to the mountains in New York. That's another beautiful experience to have.
Yeah.
People go to New
Absolutely.
York and all they see is just New York City, many buildings, and that's nice. But you should
Mhm.
always go to see the Adirondacks, Bear Mountain, Buffalo, Albany, all of those other cities that are out there that are just as beautiful.
People
So,
don't know if they're tourists, something like that.
yeah, you have Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow is a city. It's a little town that has a story. I don't know if you know the story about the horseless, the headless horseman. You know, it's a
Mhm.
story. About this man who. It's a Halloween story
Yeah.
about this man that rides a horse, but he doesn't have a head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and it was in Sleepy Hollow. So the name of the city is Sleepy Hollow. I went to visit Sleepy Hollow. It's a nice little town. You just walk around. It's very, very nice. And we went to the cemetery where the author of the story is buried.
Yeah. True.
Mhm.
How are the conditions in New York City today?
Well, with the pandemic, everything is not normal.
Yeah.
I haven't been to New York since last year.
And I changed my question. Before the pandemic, how was?
New York was great to go to because New York, you can walk, you know.
Yeah.
I used to walk a lot in New York. One time, me and my nephew, we walked from Central Park all the way to the World Trade Center.
Crazy.
Okay. And
Yes.
it is. And I tell you, when you're walking, you saw so many things that do you know the iron, what is it? The iron building? Do you know the iron building? It's
Yeah,
on
I
Fifth
know.
Avenue. I had never seen that building. I know that it was in New York, but I had never seen it. So when
Yeah.
my nephew and I were walking, and I look up and I said, "Oh my God, there's that building right there. I've never seen it." And I just kept looking at that building because I've always seen that building in pictures,
Yeah.
but I never saw it. So we walked by NYU, we walked so many different places. So before the pandemic, New York is a great place that you can get out at one train station and then you can walk,
Yeah, that's
you know
very
after the
true.
after the pandemic, or now during the pandemic, like I said, me personally, I went to,
Everything is finished, I think.
yeah, well, I went to New York in my car,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
that's it. I didn't take the train, but I needed to go to New York to bring my son because he needed to pick up something. So I went to New York to bring him there, but it was
Yeah.
in my car.
Yeah.
So
That
no,
situation.
so
But Israel, thanks for attending Inspirational Talks Turkey.
my pleasure, Arabi. It was really a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today we talked about advantage and disadvantages of work in Manhattan and language education in United States of America. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.